Hi, and welcome to the Medium channel. Welcome to Tarot Time. And there's a huge energy shift that's happening now that's going to affect all of us. I'm going to break that down, and we're going to work with our usual with our forecast for the week using tarot and other divination tools. Near the end, we do our angel messages also. So welcome, whether you're live or here's a video. If you're watching this as a video, I'll give the live people a minute or two to get their notification. Then we're going to dive right in. So I will start. Well, I'll start by drinking a little bit of water. And, interestingly, as I was setting up, I started to get information. It was sort of semi-channeled, so I wrote it down. So I'm going to go back to that in a minute. So anyway, back to my regularly scheduled drink of water. So hi, Doreen, Children's School of Yoga. Yay. Hi, Yvonne, Jody. Good morning. Good morning. Hi, Candace, Goozy, Gootsy. Anyway, welcome. Hi, Mr. Floyd. Hi, Josh. Shamila, welcome. Emily and Roseanne. All right. And Katie, welcome. So it's it's a nice day. So I think a lot of people are out. A lot of people are going to watch this as a video rather than live. But if you are here live, you get to interact with the community and share your thoughts with us. I'll see some of your comments, not all of them, but you guys, I know you guys keep a really lively conversation going here while we're doing our tarot time. So anyhow, if anybody's new and you want to say hi, and we're in this great big wide world that you are tuning in from this morning, that's awesome. If you'd rather stay incognito in the background, that's fine too. There's no real rules. Hi, Rebecca Kelly. Hi, Nicole or Nicola. Let's say Nicola Barnard. Welcome. All right, so I see a couple new names, and hi, Angela. All right, and anybody that I missed, that's not on purpose. So let's get into this. We typically our format is that I do a meditation card for the week. So we really work with tarot, but also work with channeling. And by the way, it's the full moon. How remiss of me. Happy full moon, everybody. That already happened at about 6 a.m. here in the East Coast. Anyway, happy full moon. All right, so back, what was I saying? Yes, we do our meditation card for the week based on the energies and our community, how we as individuals and a community blend with these energies, so spirit helps guide my hand to the right card for us to meditate on. Then we do a 3-card spread. We kind of touch on topics that may be going on in the world around us. Again, as I said in the very beginning, there's a huge shift of energy. We've been warming up to that. We've been coming out of a lot of these portal activations, and now we get, I wouldn't say a rest, but a chance to assimilate things as we go into the next energy jump and energy boost. So we do our 3-card spread. We have other divination tools, and we finish up with our angel message. So anyhow, hi Eileen, hi Claire, hi Robin, hi Linda, and anybody else that I happen to miss. Hi. So I wrote a few things in my notes before I come down. Firstly, it's a full moon. It happened at 29 degrees Capricorn. So it's our second Capricorn new moon. It's the last degree of Capricorn, so it's an ending and completion of those things that Capricorn rules. That happens to rule the governments and the money and the infrastructures of society. Not the physical infrastructures, more like the judicial and the ruling type of infrastructure. I don't know if I said that right, but anyway, I think I can still speak English. Hey, Mr. FC. Hey, Josh. All right. I'm just checking out your comments. Thank you, Robin, for that comment also. So it's a huge shift now, basically. So other things that are going on, I didn't write this down. I meant to write it down. Well, anyway, Mars just went into Aquarius. So Mars has been kind of sort of stuck in the mud a little bit in the sign Taurus, not to diss on the sign Taurus, but it is an earth sign, and Mercury's air. It wants to move. It doesn't want to be stuck in the ground so much. So you're going to find, especially if you feel like you've had a lot of brain fog lately, or you just haven't had the get up and go, because Mars is energy. I think that's going to shift, but because it's in Gemini, a lot of your energy is going to go into the mind, into thoughts, into ideas, put things into action. It's going to activate the genius within. We're all geniuses, by the way. It's just that most people don't have their full mental capacities activated for one reason or another, programming, social conditioning. But we all have genius mentality. We all have that connection to universal mind, which is where we channel from. It's the quantum field of the realm of spirit. So you're going to find much more access to your higher mind. Those of us that channel, Josh, Mr. Floyd's channeling channel, myself, and you other channels that are with us, you may find that it gets stronger now because of this. So Mars went into Aquarius, Sun goes into Leo tomorrow. So we have a lot of change in the guard. I wish I wrote the stuff down because there were other things. But anyway, those are a couple of big ones that are going on. So the full moon is, it happened. Now the moon is also in Aquarius. So we have this beautiful air trine between Mars and the moon right now. So it's a really, advantageous time, and the effects will carry on through the day. By the way, at 7 o'clock tonight, we're going to do some channeling with the master teacher, some frequency channeling, DNA activation to help assimilate the energies of these portal activations, the 7-7 portal, the Sirius gateway portal, assimilate these energies, activate DNA, and work towards our next ascension step, our next quantum leap as we enter into the collective quantum leap of humanity. So big time. So this activation is going to help prepare your body, your energetic fields, your nervous systems, helps to allow you the capacity to handle higher volumes as well as higher frequencies of energy, which in turn activates dormant DNA, activates your higher spiritual gifts and stuff like that. So we're doing that at 7 tonight here on the channel if you want to join us. All right, so what else? So this is kind of, it's sort of evolved into I wouldn't say automatic writing, but semi-channeling. So I have to read these. Huge energy shift now, spiritual opening and realization. So this is a really good time to get some new knowledge and some new realizations. Bird's eye view of what's been holding you back, what's behind all the stress in the world. So you can augment that by really practicing your presence, really going into the heart, feeling like you are your heart. You're not your body. The heart's an energy. It's a connector to the universal heart or universal consciousness. So if you're able to stop your thoughts periodically during the day or in meditation and step back and observe yourself, observe how you react, observe what you feel, step into the heart. You're not a name, you're not a body, you're not physical, you're energy. You have a physical body and a physical life, but you're energy, you're spirit. So when you stop your thoughts, you start to meld or blend more with who you are as spirit. And by doing so, you start to activate higher abilities, higher intuition, higher frequencies, ability to heal yourself. There's a lot of healing energy. Gemini is a healing sign. Mars is in Gemini. So those of us that have chronic stuff or going through some health stuff, you're going to get a healing boost also. Good time to see somebody that does Reiki, because energy channeling, healing energy is going to be very strong right now. Or if you do Reiki or other forms of energy healing, you'll get a boost also. So anyway, bird's eye view, what's been holding back, bird's eye view, what's going on in the world. So when you step into the heart, you step out of the programming. Hearts cannot be programmed. So the more you dwell on the heart and expand the heart, bring the heart into coherence with emotions such as gratitude, appreciation, compassion, and love, then your brain and your heart start to blend. And then your brain, because brains get programmed, hearts do not. So when your heart and your brain blend, you become resistant to all that outside programming. Then you can have a freaking clear thought in your mind that's not coming from society or not echoing from your childhood or all that kind of stuff. So dwell on the heart. We talk a lot about heart-brain coherence. We have videos to teach you how to do the practice. Do it. That's my advice. Do it. Just do it. All right. So what else? Bird's eye view, what held you back? A chance to stimulate the energy upgrade to the last portals. Okay. So we talked a little bit about that. Favors communication and action. That's that Mars energy. And also with the sun going into Leo, it's more of an active energy as well. Uh, and I just wanted to make a note. We just had a major internet crash recently, right? That just happened to fall right as Mercury was entering its approach to its next retrograde, which begins when, the 5th of August, is it? Right in the beginning of August. So it just started to slow down. So we're starting to feel those effects now. And lo and behold, the whole world crashes, basically. Not for that long, but anyway, it kind of gives us the idea that it's not going to be the easiest Mercury retrograde, right? So, but when you dwell on the heart, again, you can kind of step out of that cause and effect, that 3D stuff. Mercury retrograde is a thing. Mercury is the planet of movement and communication. It's much stronger now than it used to be because so many people are aware of it. It almost becomes a not a a program or a or kind of a fixed idea. Mercury's going retrograde, things are going to get effed up, basically. So it's in the collective field as well as what's going on with the stars. So it's stronger than it used to be, but also because we're in this great awakening, we're in this great shift of humanity. All these effects are stronger now because we're stronger. We have more flow going through us, especially if you do breathing exercise, especially if you do yoga. We're going to have a yoga class. Is it next Sunday? Or the Sunday after? I can't keep track. Anyway, with Doreen of Children's School of Yoga. So anyway, all right. So either way, I just kind of jotted in my notes. A couple of things. I just released a video at 10:45, another tarot reading. I also have a playlist with about 12 tarot readings, and I'm gonna pin that to when this becomes a video to the comments. And you can use that playlist to get a free reading, basically, from me. And the way you do that is you just kind of open the playlist. Don't think, use your intuition, and the reading that you're the most drawn to, that's your reading. So you click on that one and get the information that way. Anyway, let's do some tarot stuff now. Or is there anything we need to talk about? Nothing much going on in the world. I would say as something that would be kind of a really big feather in my psychic cap. Not that I want world events to conform to my predictions, especially if they're troubling to a lot of people. But what I'm saying is that if Joe Biden indeed does step down from the race, that'll be a big prediction that comes true. We've had several. If you want to check my summer 2024 forecast that's on the channel, you will see that quite a few of these predictions have already manifested, but there's a lot more. I mean, there's still about 2/3 of summer left to go for these things to manifest that haven't yet. But of course, predictions are just that. They're fluid, they're choice-centered. I will never make a prediction that's going to be 100%, and I don't think any psychic can. It's just the timelines are fluid. We can't really predict the future because every moment changes the energy and vibration. As the present changes, the future changes, so does the past. So we pick up on the trend. And for me, making predictions is more about points of references. Do you like the prediction? Well, work towards creating that. Do you not like the prediction? Well, change your vibration to create a different outcome. That's how I look at it anyway. So when I do readings and sessions, we're not fortune telling. We're imparting spiritual information to help you to create your own reality. But predictions can be a really good point of reference. This is your energy. This is where you're at now. If it follows its course, this is what's going to happen. Do you like that? Oh, no. Well, change it then. Change your energy now. Go more into the heart. Do more meditation. Honor yourself. A lot of us don't honor ourselves. We tend to don't honor ourselves fully. We tend to want to help others or please others or whatever, which is great. It means you're compassionate, but you got to really honor yourself first and foremost and take care of yourself first and foremost. Then you have more energy to help the world and to save the world when you do that. So remember that. I'm going to do our meditation card now after I drink more water. I haven't been asking my usual Sunday morning question at the beginning of tarot time lately, so I'll do it now. Are we coffee, tea, or caffeine free today? And I already had my tea. I'm not caffeine free. But you know, but I don't drink a lot of it. And right now I'm just on water. So anyway, coffee, tea, or caffeine free. What you guys saying? And making pancakes. Oh, can I come over, Millie? I want some pancakes. Although they have to be gluten free. So Doreen saying Sunday the 28th. So this is going to be our next yoga class here on the channel. Where's Huda? He might be traveling. I'm gonna see if I can talk him into doing something on the Medium channel. That would be Jared. That's who the name's real name. He does beautiful Vedic work, and I'm gonna maybe have him do like a breath set or some if it's chanting on the channel some point. So we've had Mr. Floyd's channeling on, and he actually did a live channeling for us, I think last month or maybe it was in May. You can find that also, but you can also go to his channel and do some live channeling every day, I think, except Sunday. He does some live channeling on Mr. Floyd's channeling channel. Very good stuff from Saint Germain and Archangel Raphael. Saint Germain, I have to do a little research and what name when Saint Germain was in the human body last, what his full name was. I want to do some more research because from what I understand, his activities can be traced over 110 years, and he had the elixir of longevity. And to me, the elixir of longevity is heart-brain coherence, because if you do that practice correctly, I'll put it this way, if compassion really becomes more of your base emotion and gratitude, and if you really practice that and do that all the time, it actually releases telomerase in the body, which protects the telomeres of the chromosomes when the chromosomes divide, which is the primary indication of aging. So if you do this practice, it counters the aging process. I'm going to do sometime this week a short form video on that also. I'll do a long form video. Ideas are coming to my mind. But in any event, Sir Francis Bacon, I think. I'm going to look that up, and thank you for that, Millie. But from what I understand, and I got this from another teacher, so I want to validate, I want to fact check that also before I put it out on YouTube. But I believe that his activities can be traced 110 years. There's a yogi in Manhattan, I can't remember his name, that taught till he was 108 and died at 109, taught yoga. So point being is, as we age, I'm 65, so for me it's very relevant. I mean, most of you are younger, I know, but for me it's really relevant. We don't have to get decrepit. We don't have to have disease because we're getting older. That's just a programming, and I saw a funny meme the other day about people in med school, and the teacher was pointing to something in the blackboard and saying, remember that every sick person that's healed is a customer lost, basically, which is obviously a dig on the pharmaceutical companies. So anyways, also doing heart-brain coherence or just living with compassion. If you do the practice and then you're living with anger the rest of the time, the practice ain't going to work for you. It's got to be more like a change of your energy that carries into your day-to-day life also. But it increases, and there's been studies to prove this, that it increases the gamma globulin A, which is your primary element of your immune system that fights things like viruses. Joe Dispenza calls it nature's flu shot. He'd probably call it nature's COVID shot, but he'd get in trouble probably. But in any event, here on the Medium channel, we don't have any opinions or we don't tell you to take a shot or not to take a shot. Anyways, if you want to join Spirit Mind Family, that's our Patreon group. When we do our lives and our meetups, then I have an opinion on this stuff. All right. So anyway, that said, moving on to our meditation card of the week. Just had the full moon. We're in this full moon energy for a few days, and then as the moon starts to wane, we assimilate that energy also. Every full moon is kind of a portal in a way. It's a shift of energy and vibration. So let me take a breath, stop thinking, so I can connect more with spirit, so they can guide me to the right card. Here we go. I love when my hand just moves. It's almost like prana that just surges through me and moves my hand. It's kind of cool. We got the Magician card, the creator. We create our own lives and our own reality, but are we conscious of that? Or are we 95% subconscious like the average human? We want to become fully conscious, right? So that's the goal and the idea here. I think Mr. Floyd is giving us a little bit of history. Or he's saying he's been dead in theory since 1784. Aging is of the mind. Thank you for that, Francis Bacon. So I'll look that up. The Magician, yes, indeed, the Magician is Mercury energy. Very good. So Doreen of Children's School of Yoga also has a YouTube channel where she teaches yoga from mostly to children, but we're children at heart, right? And this is just a reminder for you guys to check out Mr. Floyd, because he does some really cool posting also. And he's talking about Saint Germain. When he channels Saint Germain, he's super focused on building your own universe. So very good information there also. I'm just checking checking all your comments for a second. All right. So Francis Bacon, yeah, I believe he's also Katumi, another ascended master. I believe it's the same master there, Saint Germain and Katumi. Sometimes you see pictures of Katumi, he looks a lot like Jesus also. So anyway, the Magician card, yes, it's Mercury rule. We have where is Mercury now? Well, it can't be far from Leo, or it's got to be in Leo, because we're approaching a Mercury retrograde. So Mercury has to be in Leo right now, because the sun is at its final degree of Cancer. So a lot of completion. We had a full moon at the last degree of Capricorn. That's completion. We're in 29 degrees of Cancer now. That's the completion also. So another message for this week is, what in your life do you want to complete? You can even do some writing exercises, things that I don't want to carry into like the next phase of my life. Sometimes I'll write them down, and I'll do a little ceremony where I burn them and give thanks to Spirit for everything that my challenges taught me, but I don't want those challenges anymore. I want to move into a new energy. So anyway, meditating with tarot cards, get clear, get present in your mind, step into the card. This is the Morgan Greer deck. If you have tarot cards, use your own or take a mental snapshot of this one and meet the Magician. So when you step into the card, the first thing, if you're present and open, you'll subtly feel different. You'll have a different energy, a different vibration, a different emotion, energy, emotion. And that's your first and greatest gauge of energy is what are you feeling? The thing is, our ability to feel has been so dumbed down by society. A lot of it's through the traumas we've endured growing up and in life, that we sort of shut down our ability to really feel. So we almost have like shadow feelings or ghost-like feelings, phantom feelings. They're not completely real. They're shadowy. But when we really open the heart and we really start to activate the heart, then it's like we feel things so much stronger. It's kind of like when I started to do this, I started to question how I was able to be a good psychic when I couldn't even feel. That was sort of my reaction. I started to open up these higher abilities to feel things. So anyway, feeling is a great gauge of energy. So you step into the card, and what is the Magician? The Magician helps us to create things. In the card, all the suits of the tarot are on the table. He's got a staff in the air and he's pointing to the ground. So he's taking energy from above. That's almost like an alchemist, taking vibration and energy in above and then creating on the earth level. So from the higher dimensions, creating in the lower three-dimensional level. And this is, as you meditate with this card, you may get some insights from the Magician on how to work on creating your own reality. So this is really a good one for this week, for us to really grow and enhance our abilities to manifest our dreams into reality, basically. So anyway, That's that interesting Mars in Gemini till December. That can't be right. I think that was last year, wasn't that? We had or 2 years ago. I'll have to look at that. If so, that would be interesting. I'm gonna look now. Because that happened. We had a whole like 7-month transit during the last Mars retrograde through Gemini, and so we're again to August. Because if it's going to approach another retrograde, then it's going to do the same thing, right? All right, so Mars will go into Cancer on September the 4th, just to let you know. So Mars is in Gemini till September 4th, from today or yesterday till September 4th. So anyway, and this is Mercury energy. Mercury slowing down, going to retrograde. How do we use the Mercury retrograde? We go inward. We more. It's not necessarily a big push forward, though. It's still, it doesn't go retrograde for a couple of weeks still. And there's a lot of other aspects that are showing it's more of an action and energy period. But that said, it's more about the redos, right? Anything with an RE prefix, renovate the house, redo your notes or your paperwork, or redo something in your meditation practice or whatever. So anyway, let's do a 3-card spread. So let me see what Katie's saying about the buck moon. Buck moon, aka the thunder moon, is shedding and now beginning to grow our new antlers. Yeah, that's really good. So it's called the buck moon because the males tend to have their full antlers, as this moon, approaches or happens. How will yours look this season? Great question. PS one had up one. Love card with a hand gesture. Totally right. You got one up, one down. That's great information. Thank you. See, many would say Baphomet or demon like pose. I maintain that basically that what we call the Satan or the devil is really our teacher, basically. And yeah, okay, I can just get the image of people throwing Bibles at me, but basically, if you follow the story of Lucifer, what happens is he takes the angels into the earth, basically lays the earth to waste, but humanity emerges from that wiser. It's almost like the coyote legend of the Native Americans, and in some translations, actually, Lucifer returns back to God when all the evil deeds are done. So, yeah, the devil can only tempt, but that said, temptation can be a mighty strong thing. Like sometimes I'm tempted to go into negative emotions when I see a post, for example. You can argue that, and I have the choice whether I want to lower my vibration or not, right? So I can either go into that temptation or ignore it, right? Anyhow, good morning, Laura B. All right, so let's do our 3-card spread. All right, so clearing mind again. So I'm asking Spirit, give us the best 3 cards to define our week in our lives, as well as what's going on in the world around us. Interesting, because as I'm pulling card, I'm just seeing a card that's older and then seeing wheels and replacing the wheels. Maybe part of that could be a metaphor, because the body can be, the cards can be a metaphor for the body, and the wheels are kind of like what keeps us going. So if our wheels are faulty, we kind of get stuck in our movements. So I think this is something. I think one of the messages is if you've been a little bit lax with things like your meditation or yoga, if you do that, or any form of exercise, don't stagnate. I think that's the message. Don't stagnate. Get your wheels in proper working order, as it were. and to keep being progressive, keep moving. There's a funny. I just pulled the Hierophant. I was about to say there's a lot of programming that's trying to block that, and the Hierophant just standing between these two pillars, say, "You must go through me in order to get through these pillars." But on one hand, this could be spiritual or religious teachings. On another hand, it could be spiritual or religious dogma. Take your pick. I'm almost thinking of Monty Python, the Holy Grail movie, where it's like the guy in front of the bridge is like, in order to cross the bridge, you must answer me these questions 3 for the other side. You see, basically. So in any event, and the main character with that, basically, trick them, and then he basically went up in the water. So we also have the Judgment card, so a lot of heavy energy here, and this is an action and energy card, but it's reversed. The Judgment card, could this mean that Joe Biden will indeed step down? I mean, I know it was one of my predictions, but at this point, I'm not. It's still choice. So that's the other thing. When we make predictions, there's still choices. But I think there's enough pressure, and I think that he's had enough gaffes. I mean, he is the oldest president in the history of the United States. If he does, I wouldn't bash him for maybe slowing down a little bit mentally. The presidents always have advisors. They're always kind of being fed information on what to say anyways, and what to do. So think of Ronald Reagan, for example. I remember in the 80s, I'd see him on TV, and I just say in my mind, and in fact, for my friends, it's like, there's something wrong with him. He's diseased. I don't know what, but he's diseased. There's something wrong with him. It wasn't years later, though, it came out that he was running the White House with Alzheimer's, basically. So, and he didn't step down, or did he? I don't think he did. Anyhow, but that could be part of the Judgment card. Now, also the Judgment card is the awakening. It's like the renewal. It's like, we're kind of sort of in this place where we're in this water, like in this river, basically. We've left the shores of everything that has been in our lives, and we know we can't go back, but we haven't reached the other side yet. So we need to maybe have some kind of an energy shift, some kind of an awakening, or an energetic alignment or upgrade in order to reach whatever that next spiritual level is for us. Well, we're going to work on that at 7 tonight in the channeling with the master teachers. And I think, this is also showing there's a lot of miscommunication. I mean, what else is new, right? It's like a lot of stuff on social media and on the news is either exaggerated, slanted, or tilted in some way, or an outright lie, depending on what it is. The spirit saying it's to manipulate and control the masses. Of course it is. That's the media's job, basically. It's not that the media is necessarily lying. It's just that what they choose to focus on, what they choose to put in the background, something that might be very important gets like 2 lines on the last page, wherever they want our attention drawn, gets like neon lights, and look at this is happening here. And when all of our attention is diverted into one issue, then things that the governments or the forces that control the governments and rule the world are able to do other things when nobody's looking. So think of the magician. We had the magician card earlier. I mean, the true magician is the alchemist, but there's also the performing magician, right? The sleight of hand. The media is like the sleight of hand, basically. And a skilled magician will be able to divert your attention so that they do the illusions and you don't even notice that they're doing it, basically. So, these are things, but, I think this is also awakening. A lot more gets exposed. I'm thinking, Susan Auld, who really keeps us up to date with some of the things that are going on with, the conspiracy theories and whatnot. She would have a thing or two to say also, because a lot's getting exposed. It's happening now, and a lot more is getting exposed, basically. I'm seeing something about the pipelines or about the oil or something like that. They just flashed that image in my mind. So that may come up for further debate. I mean, hopefully, the Native Americans will be able to step in and at least regulate things to some degree. But I think there's going to be a lot of unrest and a lot of turmoil, a lot of arguing, a lot of back and forth. It's just a reminder to stay in the heart. Don't buy into all the stress of the society, all the divide and conquer stuff. I often say, me and other spiritual teachers often say, the right wing and the left wing belong to the same bird, right? So we want to be focused on the bird, not just the wings, because it's really, the same presented differently, and people will almost like want to have fist fights over their differences, basically. So we just really want to step back, take ample breaks from social media, especially in the morning and before bed. Take some time to just get out of that energy, out of that field of manipulation, and come back into the heart. Basically, again, hearts can't be programmed. So remember that. All right, so what else are you guys saying? Energy has been insane. Okay, yeah. So what Christina's saying, yesterday, it was some random old lady at the public school, but actually we ended up friends by the end of the day. She was a retired art teacher. I guess that there was a disagreement. President is usually just a puppet. I might even delete the word usually, but anyway, that's my opinion. What's this? The energy is insane to my insane in the membrane. I love that song, but I'll say, I'm here. Oh, okay. Oh, well, love to your kittens. Yeah. Oh, well, we'll send a lot of love to that. Water equals the womb. Yeah. Yep. Absolutely. Been an intense week. Yeah. Good day. Good for you. Whoever that is. That's been all off of social media. And lots of heart clearing this week. Good for you. Yeah. Sometimes when I do heartbrain coherent, I just start crying. Yeah. And Josh is saying, just saw a post on YouTube dividing Joe and the voters. Sadly, oh, good for you. Good for keeping your boundaries and standing up for that. We don't do that. We see the good and the evil in both sides and both ideologies. And it's funny, I during the last round, I guess I was closer to 2020. I lost so many friends because the right wing people thought that I was a liberal, a Libby, or whatever they call the liberals. The left wing people thought that I was a Trump lover, and I'm neither, basically. So anyway, it's just how we're programmed. We've got to get out of that programming. The heart's at the center of your being. In the heart, there is no right or left wing. There's just the heart. They're just the center. They're just what is, basically. It's all a way it's all part of social conditioning, part of programming. We just accept that it's a two-party system and don't really dig deeper and understand how that's a divide system and how it works and such. I think 12 years would be the record of when one party in the United States was the president. I think that was the Reagan and the Bush, right? I think that was 12 years of Republican, but it's usually 4 or 8 years it shifts. It's all a game, anyways. I think I've said that enough in enough ways. Very energetic week. Lots is changing in the world. You try not to get triggered, and for some of us, we're making our own decisions of what we need to do to ascend at this time. The Hierophant, I mean, they can represent the religious leader, like the Pope or the minister. It can represent the guru in a way. You have to understand where the limitations are. Like, the teachings are great, but at some point, this figure needs to move out of the way so you can step through the pillars, which you can't see that well in this card, but he's surrounded by two pillars, basically. So this could be, like the governments, the president, the vice president, the whatever, and if we're making this into a story, and this is a story, this may be something that taps into your personal life, not just politics or world events. I think there's a micro and a macro connected to this. because the Judgment card, I mean, basically he's already gone through the portal and there's an awakening, and then this is like all the opposition. It's like all the critical minds starting to like gang up on us. It's like, no, you're wrong, no, you can't do that. But the thing is that they fear change and they fear spiritual growth, so they buy into the programming. So if you don't fear that, you become a threat to them, because what is fear? It's a survival instinct twisted in some kind of social conditioning foray, basically, that basically dumbs us down and keeps us from evolving and growing, basically. So when we take that step to our next level, and we don't buy into the fear, those that do, they feel threatened and they try to stop us, basically. So be aware of these dynamics. We're really part of a collective, so there's times that we need to step out of that collective. Do the flame technique. I've shown that many times, but just, and I have videos on it, but just quickly now, light a candle, get very relaxed and very present, focus gaze into the bright spot right above the wick, become one with that flame in your mind. You step into the flame and you feel the fire around you, and that's what's separating you from this sick aspect of the collective, and bringing you more into a higher vibration. So if you do that, whatever you do, and they're saying even just being in water can do that. Taking baths or in your showers, imagine that the water's clearing all of that stuff off of you. And while you're in the water, you're separated from the programming machine out there, basically. So anyway, let go and trust, right, Mr. Floyd? Yes. And very good. So so a couple of comments here. Thank you. Lost one now. Well, fear to call. As soon as I'm done, I'm going to upload a short about fear and law of attraction. It's only 20 seconds long. But anyway, well, fear to call around the doctor for all, prayers to all. Yeah, prayers to all that are ill. I mean, a lot of our illness is just, I shouldn't say just, it's the energetic imbalances, a lot of toxins in the energetic field, as well as in the air, the water, the food, and everything. And like I was saying in the beginning, to the eyes of the pharmaceutical company, a healed person is a lost customer, basically. So there's a lot of pressure to not heal, to continue, going through those mental, emotional processes that got us sick in the first place. So we have to learn how to reprogram that. And Laura's saying, I'm being intentional. Well, good for you. Freeing myself to move forward. Still surprised at what needs to be cried out. The tears won't dry until they are cried. Yeah, I like that. The tears won't dry until they are cried. Yeah. Real power is in the heart. Absolutely. Yeah. And that's what we need to do now. So let's move on. I've got a few other divination tools. And Felicia's saying, I floated in my pool for an hour. Good for you. Yeah, being in water is really good. And Millie's saying the meaning of angel number 1144. Oh, sorry, didn't mean to do that. 1144 is a number of love, freedom, self-trust, and it can even point towards an awakening or a fresh start. Thank you for sharing that. I gather it's 1144 now then, or it was when that went up, which means I got to get on my horse, because it's a nice day. We don't want to be watching Adam all day. I mean, thank you for watching me now, but so all right, I'm my Native American card. So let's see what this card can add to the underlying message. Here, I need a bigger table. I've got like a mic in front of me. I've got my computer. I've got water and a small coffee table. Good morning, Dora. Anybody coming on late? Well, you know what to do. We shared a lot of really good information in the beginning, so catch the replay. All right, clearing my mind. Here we go. And we got, what's this? Travois, the two of, I think this would equate to the two of swords. And again, it's almost like there's a similar vibe with these two cards here, going through the pillars and everything. And basically it's almost like these hatchets, I guess they are, or whatever these are. This is the Native American tarot. And then there's I think those are the dogs that are pulling him. and it's all sort of like there's an opening. It's like opening to the mountain. The mountain can represent elevation or going to greater heights of your own reality. So I think what this is adding is that this is a good week to do your personal journey, your vision quest work. You work more on coming to the next level of your meditation practice, of your awakening. What we have are basically doors opening to a higher level of our own awakening and our own ascension, but we have those earthly forces standing in the way. So we have, how do we clear the earthly forces? Well, we don't get angry and frustrated about it. In fact, we embrace it as just part of the process of spiritual growth, assimilate that, and by doing that, it's going to move out of the way on its own. If you try to force it, it's just going to get stronger, basically. So anyway, thank you, Olivia. Welcome, and thank you, Colleen. Sorry about your daughter. All right, so you got a lot of good comments. I can't flash them all, but thank you for that. But everybody can read them on the comment stream anyway. I'm just thinking about my time. So I like to, since there's sort of like this renaissance of Egyptian energy in the world now. Maybe that's part of the awakening. But the Egyptian energy really, to me, is pre-Pharaoh Egypt. That's really when it was really like almost like an offshoot of the Atlantean culture. And it's hard to get historical records of that. But there's a book called Initiation by Elizabeth Hatch, where she has like this past life recall of receiving initiation in pre-Pharaoh Egypt, and then initiating her counterpart, and then going into the world. And she actually was a Holocaust survivor, yoga teacher, I think from Germany at the time. That's called Elizabeth Hatch, spelled I believe Haitch, and the book's called Initiation. Anyhow, so this is the Isis Oracle deck that we have here, and the card we got is the Temple of Lapis Lazuli. So we often get repeats. I don't know if I think I shuffle these cards good enough. I feel like Spirit's laughing. You're saying, "Oh no, the messages carry over from week to week." So I think of Lapis Lazuli as a very spiritual energy, and like a higher mind, like an intuition thing. And it says here, goddess of the ancient skies. And then there's some hieroglyphics here, some sigils here. Also, the star. There's, so, and it's within a two-dimensionally that would be a Star of David. Three-dimensionally that could be a Merkaba also, which is an ascension light vehicle. So this is really a lot. I think the Temple of Lapis Lazuli is really about ascension and higher realities, and tapping into your higher realities. And I'm talking about that. I'm almost seeing this image of like going to the Akashic fields, and there's different doors you can go into your different past lives. Not everybody has had past lives on Earth, especially today. So you're if that's you, your past lives would be involved in different dimensions or different star systems, which means you're a first generation starseed, and you're here to help us poor humans through our awakening process. So anyhow, so Kyle Gray's Angels and Ancestors deck is next on the agenda. Good. Is that Ma'at? Is that what you're saying? Ma'at energy? If so, thank you for sharing that. I'm sorry. So prayers to your daughter, Colleen. She's had lupus for quite a while. She would benefit from doing a lot of the heart brain coherence work also. There's very little that's completely unhealable. I mean, there's exceptions to every rule, but that said, virtually any condition can be healed, but sometimes it's a soul's choice. Sometimes a disease comes because it's our end of life experience, and and that it's going to be what it's going to be. But for a lot of times, it's our teacher, and if we're able to really understand it and heal ourselves, we learn a lot through the process. So anyhow, so where we go? Right here, boom! It just went. Poof, my hand down. Earth Guardian. Well, we need the Earth Guardian, right? And then, imagine that. It's not really a pillar, but imagine this figure sort of standing here, and then there's an opening behind this figure. But in this case, this is a healing energy because it's green, and there's a lot of green in this earth energy. This is an angelic presence that wants to help us through the portal to better health. We were just talking about health, or it could be more than that. And of course, Doreen, who works with Kyle Gray and has more insight into what the cards mean. This is also holding a white flower. There's a green stone on the third eye of this figure, basically also. So green again is healing, and the third eye is like insight, spiritual sight, and stuff like that. So your intuition, those of us that have things. I mean, I've been moving through my own stuff now, getting better from that. That we may get a lot of intuition on what we need to do to heal our bodies. Basically, green is Archangel Raphael. Good. Pick up both Millie and that just Millie. Okay, and Roots. Okay, very good. And your granddaughter's niece an indigo child. What do you think, Jody? Okay, question mark. Green is love. Yeah, green is love. Absolutely. So it's Venus energy, Venusian energy also. Very good. Good takeaways here. So moving right along, we have our frequency of the week. And Doreen's saying getting grounded is very important right now. So she's letting us know, some, more insight, and then also make decisions based on strength and integrity. Thank you very much. All right. So these are the Sacred Geometry Oracle, or Sacred Geometry Activation Oracle, I should say. Okay. And we got prosperity. Oh, that's green also, right? Money too. So let's see. Key 36. So this is a 369 energy. The 369 code is frequency. When you tap into that, you tap into the nature frequency, how energy flows through the physical to alter the physical. Basically, that's Nikola Tesla can explain that better than I can. But anyway, the message here is the frequency of prosperity supports our feeling of well-being by allowing the inclusion of everything that makes our body, mind, heart, soul, and spirit sing. It invites us to express ourselves in joy and celebration of the abundance and riches that the universe provides. And what do I say? I say a lot. Everything that exists in this physical universe exists in abundance. Money, too. They're able to print dollar bills, trillions of dollars if they want to. But money is the physical counterpart of the principle of abundance, and everything that exists in abundance. So you can just kind of absorb this sacred geometry, gaze right in the middle for a moment, absorb that. And once you get a holistic or a spiritual download of what abundance and prosperity is, then you become more magnetic to money and physical prosperity also, basically. So there you go. Very good. Yeah, there you have it. Okay. And I also have the medicine cards and then the angel cards. So finishing up here. I'll post this because I'm talking about Colleen's daughter with lupus, but the reason that it's relevant for things that we were saying, it's sorry, I know the diagnosis is things now have a name of demon one can battle. So that's again what they're saying about demons or Satan or whatever. That could be our best teacher. It's challenge basically. So when she's able to battle it, or maybe dance with it, embrace it, might be even a better way of handling that. But whatever the case, she'll be able to gain new information, new insight, new knowledge, and tap into a higher level of her power, and perhaps even be able to suppress, if not heal, the condition altogether, right? So, and the Yoshkalu, exactly, yeah. And when they took the dollar off the gold standard, that was in the Nixon era. What happened? What was it? A big inflation or a big recession? I think it's inflation then recession. So you don't need gold and Fort Knox to print money. Yeah, we haven't for over 50 years, and the economy's been problematical for longer than that. But anyway, that's beside the point. All right, so clearing my mind. I'm seeing something. It looks like an eagle. So, or some bird of prey coming to my mind. But let's see which one I actually picked from the medicine cards. Well, we got something that an eagle might eat. The squirrel. So squirrels are really about resourcefulness. What do? They gather their nuts for the winter. So, it may just be a subtle reminder that with this unstable world, economy, government, crashes, all this stuff going on, don't let our guards down. I haven't talked a lot about, having food or stuff like that. Now, a lot of you that have been following me for a while, and I haven't really said this for a few months, but it's always a good idea to have if you can, if you can afford to have at least $200 of cash on you, we'll say some prayers and do some more money manifestation work. And I know not everybody, has that luxury, but if you're fortunate enough, always have some cash just in case the banks go down or the ATMs go down. Now, what happened last week was just for a few hours, but it's a reminder basically of how unstable everything in the world is right now. You'll have power lines. Imagine that, on aging poles, like flimsy little lines that are powering this entire country, basically. All it takes is for a branch to fall on it. There's a power outage, basically. All it takes is a major solar flare, and we could be no electricity for weeks or even months. Or a large hurricane, like a Sandy style hurricane. I lost power for almost 2 weeks after Hurricane Sandy. I know some of you lost power for even longer. Have your resources, plan for that. Hope, plan for the worst, hope for the best, visualize the best. But I think that it's a reminder for us to be aware of that. That we may have a food shortages coming up, supply shortages, all that stuff. That none of that is off the table. And I wasn't real gung ho on that. There's others. I had an astrologer, a guest come on that would be really gung ho. It's like, this is going to happen. There's not going to be food. You need to do that. And where's that happened? It didn't happen to the degree that most of the people were saying it would. Yeah, the shelves got a little bit empty. I live in the Hudson Valley. It's a fairly affluent area. There's other parts of the U.S. where store shelves were literally not just toilet paper either, but we're literally like wiped clean. So it did happen, but it wasn't to the degree where everybody's on FEMA lines, waiting for their ration. It didn't come to that degree, but it happened, and it's not. We're not at it. We're definitely not out of it. I just happened to look at this dog here. So dogs about loyalty and about innocence and trust. Also, dogs are pack animals, so I think it's a reminder. I think I just saw that as a message from Spirit, is to know your community. We have a community here, but we're basically an internet community on the Medium channel. Know your local community, your farmers, basically. Like if something happened and we lost power, we lost internet, we lost communication, we had no way of getting food. I don't think it's going to come to that, but it can. Realistically, it can. And we can survive in a community. We can pool together and survive. It's been suggested that part of the awakening, we may go back to more of a tribal living, though with modern conveniences, or Stuff like that, like the Native Americans, basically. So anyway, good messages there. And we finish up with a quick angel message. Oh, yeah, you have a new puppy, right, Doreen? Yeah. Who are they? They would be those forces that run the governments, the corporations, etc. You want to call them the elite, the deep state, the cabal. There's been many names through the ages, but there's been always recognition that there's an elite party that rules everything. That's like the royal family, for example, is part of that. And if you guys saw the movie Thrive back in the day, they do a good job explaining the dynamics of what happens in the world with the 5 families and everything. So right, and in the spiritual community, we're not supposed to go into fear. We're not supposed to lower our vibration. That doesn't mean to close our eyes and be blind to what's going on in the world around us, but to be empowered and not going into fear. Good comment also. Yeah. Right. Your mind, which angel message do we got today? Bethany, we've gotten her before. When you take excellent care of yourself, everybody benefits. Give yourself a relaxing treat today, such as a massage, sea salt bath, or pedicure. I think the message is make sure you're taking care of yourself, because stress has a way of making us ignore ourselves. And when we're in stress, we're actually um, in a hormonal surge, primarily cortisol and adrenaline. That's we're only supposed to experience when there's actually like being chased by a tiger or something like that. But most Americans, 60 to 70% of waking lives are in stress hormones. That wears down on the health. But you can counter that firstly by shutting things off for a while and taking really, really good care of yourself. We need you to be strong. We need you to be healthy. The world needs you right now. Don't ignore yourself. Don't let the stress of the world make you ignore your good, healthy habits now. Use your will. Sometimes it takes that, because I know after a day, and I know it's my workout time. I'm like, oh man, I don't want to move. Whatever. And it's like inertia. So the hardest part is starting, and it's not just about exercise, but taking good care of yourself. Hardest part is starting. Once you get going, then I'm like, I'm so happy I did this. So anyway, that's what I got for you today. So again, we're going to be back at 7 o'clock to do a very powerful transmission with the master teachers and Archangel Sandalphon. That's going to really assist in shifting into this higher vibration, assimilating the energetic upgrades we've received in the recent portal activations, and then be able to prepare for the next one. And that's happening with the Lions Gate and the Perseids. So early to mid August is always a very powerful and spiritual time of the year. It's my favorite. And those of you that are deadheads like myself, I know there's 1 or 2 of you on. It's the days in between. I don't know if Josh knows that song. They started doing that at the very end, like I think in '92, and I swear that was a prophetic song to Jerry's passing. Like he and Robert Hunter write the lyrics, and if you listen to the song "Days in Between," it's like he knew basically. So they call the period between Jerry Garcia's birthday on August 1st and the day that he passed on August 9th, the days in between. So a lot of deadheads celebrate then. I'll be celebrating too. Anyway, I just figured I'd add that to you guys. And you do. So Mr. Floyd does know the song. Yes, one of my favorite newer of the new line of Grateful Dead songs that they did on tour. Yeah. I mean, just as a quick note, I had a premonition in '92 he was going to die, and in '93 I just went out on tour, which I've never done. I've seen a lot of shows locally, so I went to Deer Creek in Indiana, back to RFK, and then I may have even ran into Josh there and not known him. But when you're brothers from another mother, you do tend to connect, in different times of your life, even if you don't realize it. And then I went out west for the August shows, Eugene and then Mountain View. So I kind of did a little mini tour stuff anyway. And then sure enough, in '95, that was the year. So anyway, love you guys. ending now. Before I end, yes, tonight 7 o'clock. Yeah, that's all I need to say. Everything else is in the beginning.